It is October 1947. The newly born nation of Pakistan has gathered in Karachi for its very first Eid-ul-Adha prayer. The rows are formed, the crowd is waiting, and all eyes are looking for the founder, Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah. But Jinnah is delayed. Panicked government officials approach the Imam at the front of the congregation. They urgently request that he postpone the prayer until the Quaid-e-Azam can arrive. The Imam looks at them and states his position with absolute clarity. He is there to lead the prayer for God Almighty, not for any political leader. Without hesitation, the Imam calls the takbir exactly on time. When Muhammad Ali Jinnah finally reaches the Eid Gah, the prayer is already underway. The man who willed a nation into existence quietly steps into the back rows of the congregation to join them. The architects of this new country wielded immense political power. But in this exact moment, they were reminded that they remained strictly accountable to a higher spiritual authority, enforced by religious leaders who refused to compromise their duties. The man standing at the microphone that morning was Maulana Zahoor Hassan Dars. You might expect a head of state to take offense at being publicly sidelined. Instead, Jinnah deeply praised the Imam's unshakable character, later referring to him as the Bahadur Jung of Sindh. A religious scholar publicly overruling the nation's founder and earning his highest respect in the process begs a question. How did Maulana Dars secure such immense influence, and what role did he actually play in building Pakistan? To understand his influence, we have to look at his geographic center of power. Since 1935, Maulana Dars managed a trust for the Eid Gah Maidan, a massive open space on Bahadur Road in the heart of Karachi. He managed this space without ever taking a salary. He relied on his own personal income from family agricultural lands to fund the upkeep of the mosque and the Eid Gah. Because he was financially independent, his pulpit was entirely free from colonial pressure and state influence. That independence turned the Eid Gah into a fortress for political organization. In October 1938, with Jinnah presiding, a massive provincial conference was held on these very grounds. By the end of it, the Assembly passed a resolution openly demanding a separate nation. The famous Lahore Resolution is widely celebrated as the official start of the Pakistan demand, but the groundwork and the public consensus for that exact demand were secured here in Karachi, a full 2 years earlier. By 1946, the Muslim League had a clear political objective, but they desperately needed mass grassroots support to actually achieve independence. Maulana Dars provided the organizational muscle to make that happen. In February of that year, he spearheaded the All India Sunni Conference right at his Eid Gah. He brought together titans of Islamic scholarship from across the subcontinent, including figures like Allama Abdul Alim Siddiqui, uniting them under a single political banner. The conference cemented the ulama's unanimous backing for the Muslim League. It provided the exact religious mandate the movement needed to mobilize millions of everyday citizens. On August 18, 1947, Maulana Dars stood in the Eid Gah once again, this time to lead the very first Eid-ul-Fitr prayer in an independent Pakistan. But the celebration was immediately overshadowed by a logistical nightmare. Millions of destitute refugees were crossing the new borders and arriving in Karachi with absolutely nothing. Without waiting for government intervention, he repurposed the vast open grounds of the Eid Gah into a massive civilian relief camp. He coordinated with local donors to provide shelter, ensuring these vulnerable families were fed 3 solid meals a day until they were able to stand on their own feet in their new country. His leadership translated political theory into boots-on-the-ground survival for the nation's most desperate citizens during its most vulnerable hours. With the physical borders of the nation secured and the immediate crises managed, Maulana Dars shifted his attention toward Pakistan's legal and moral identity. This illustrates his next major contribution. Working alongside the Jamiat Ulama-e Pakistan, he pushed relentlessly for the Objectives Resolution, the foundational bedrock of Pakistani law. Securing this ensured every subsequent constitution, 1956, 1962, or 1973, would be structurally bound to Islamic and Quranic ideals. Beyond his political and organizational prowess, he was a deeply intellectual figure. Writing under the pen name Zahoor, he authored profound texts like Hun-ke-Ansu, proving he could wield a pen just as effectively as he commanded a microphone. Maulana Zahoor Hassan Dars organized political mandates, fed destitute refugees, and held founders to account. For him, serving the Islamic faith and building the state of Pakistan were the exact same duty.